Hello, guys. Welcome back to this new episode of What If Civilization Started in Europe as well. The civilization has kind of spread throughout the whole world. Currently, most of the world is still monarchies as well, but a major event is about to happen. So, Britain has been under the control of Brittany for hundreds and hundreds of years as well. But it seems that the people here are revolting as well here. The people here do not want to be a part of this country any longer here. So basically, the citizens rise up against them in a massive rebellion as well here. So here, the citizens rise up in a massive rebellion as well, connecting two major cities as well here. This causes Brittany to send in more troops, because they know if they lose Britain, they kind of lose this whole area here where they can control trade through the English Channel here. But Brittany doesn't want to let this up as well here. So the Brittanian troops enter to Britain, and they take over several lands here as well. And they surround this city and take it back here as well here. However, the rebellion moves down to Cornwall as well, and they basically take it over. And they also take over Wales as well here. This causes another country to join. This causes a country to join on the side as well. So basically, we could put in sides of this war here. So so this is basically Brittany's side, and this is basically Britain's side, okay? So Ireland is the first country to really join the side of Britain as well. Same thing with this Norwegian country right here. However, this causes Britain to continue to revolt faster as well, taking back various major cities as well here. However, they get the Scottish country on their side. Yep. France gets the Scottish country on their side, which for the British, because they accidentally invaded this land here. And the Scottish army helps the Brittanians basically take back this northern area right here. However, they get pushed back to here. However, there's no real major cities in these provinces because Britain is still pretty underdeveloped as well here. However, this causes this entire area to be taken back as well here. However, this causes two more countries to join the side of Britain here. This Swedish country right here, and these two countries down here. This country right here. This country also declares war on France's Brittany as well here. They start to make a massive invasion into Brittany as well here. And this is getting out of control basically here as well, because Brittany is again a very strong country, but they're now being pushed back by all these countries here as well here. The Swedes come in to basically help as well here. And they push them back as well here. Brittany sends troops to basically push back against Bavaria. Not Bavaria, central Germany. Bavaria is like down here. But push back against central Germany as well. And they basically push back against them as well here. Another country joins the side of the British as well here. And that is this country right here. They join the side of the British as well here. They don't join the war directly, but they do send troops to fight against them. And basically, this country, France, is kind of forced to recognize Britain as an official country. So England is now an official country. Yes, England is now an official country, and they'll be putting the capital around here. Um, yeah, so there we go. England is now an official country on this map here, and yeah. Yeah. Now with that whole thing out of the way here, yeah. Also, no borders are changed between central Germany and Brittany here. However, well, more expansions will be taking place. So now we gotta go to our daily India update. Yep, the daily India update as well here. So Orange India wants to take back this little strip of land, because they do not want this little country over here. So they make a massive invasion to basically invade this country here, and Orange Indian troops fallen by the millions as well here. This causes Brown India to basically say, hey, you can't be doing this, okay? The Orange India basically collapsed before, Brown India sends thousands of troops in here. However, this causes Brown India to basically send in troops to basically stop Orange India as well here from invading here. And, however, this doesn't stop Orange India from invading here as well here. Yeah, Orange India also continues to invade further south as well, meeting up with the Brown Indian border. And they actually start to invade actual Brown Indian land as well here. Yeah. Yeah. Because, Brown India is actually weaker than Orange India on the power rankings as well here. Yeah, we're gonna have to update that list as well here. Yeah, but Orange India is, not was looking pretty powerful. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Brown India is now being invaded as well here. And they basically, hey, Persia, you can take some of this land here. And Orange India is now basically being destroyed. Yep. All of the great powers is now being basically destroyed as well. However, this causes this teal country to rebel. These people want to be separate from the Brown India as well here. This causes Orange India to move a ton of troops outside of, to focus on this little rebellion right here. The blue India is basically gone here, but no, not teal India. This white blue India rebellion continues to go forward as well here. And the war ends, and peace treaty will be done. So here is the new peace treaty, and Brown India has been significantly nerfed. Obviously, they still exist, but they are significantly nerfed. Also, we got to add in an ideology for England. England is a absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy. It's a monarchy, basically, here. There are a few elective monarchies, but most countries are absolute monarchies at this point. However, because of this peace treaty, this Brown India country, which used to be a competitive, because they lost all their colonies because of this peace treaty. Actually, we got about the Indian colonies here, but this causes this country to become a dictatorship. So there are very few dictatorships in this world at this current moment, as most countries are monarchies as well here. However, the king is overthrown by the military, and a new form of government, for the first time, is a military dictatorship, which is this dark gray country. And basically, the military leader promises to make Brown India great again as well here. Also, But yeah, because there are a few democracies in the world, and of course there are a few elective monarchies like Morocco and I think this Croatian country here. But vast majority of the world is here. Also, in this puppet state finally adopts Egypt's ideology. And that is the ideology's map mode. And Brown India, they want to get their revenge because they have been made significantly weaker as well. And we're going to be making new power rankings in the very moment, as several countries have been made significantly weaker. However, we have a new power ranking, and also Brown India is completely absent. They've fallen out of the top 10. However, we have Scandal Germania, which is this country here. Brittany is still the number 2 power in the world because they lost England, but they've still retained most of their core territory. As England is not even like the top 15 powers. We also have Poland still here. We have Iberia. However, there's several new great powers as well. We have Russia now here. We have Orange India, which has defeated Brown India. None of the Chinese countries are here yet, but we have Korea, because they control all of Japan as well. And Persia enters number 8 for the first time as well. Okay. Here. However, Persia is set to do a massive exploration along with this Turkmenistan country right here. And they explore a lot here. I think all the way up here. They meet up with the Russian explorations and they explore all of this area. This land is of course not the best land, but however, Korea and China also do exploration. They discover Lake Baikal. Yep, that's what they discover. And they go back, basically retreating. Russia and Russians continue to explore this way. However, they do not really see much here. So Russian explorers basically quit over here. However, they do document the lands here. However, two countries see this as a massive opportunity to expand. So, first is the Persian country. They will expand all the way further up north over here. Uzbekistan, Central Asian country expands its borders as well here. This Kazakh country moves its borders over here. And Russia moves its borders over here. And Russia is now becoming big. I think Russia may be the biggest country in the world as of now. Also, Russia explores a lot of this land up here. Also, Sweden finally discovers the rest of Scandinavia alongside its coast here, discovering it for good as well here. And here, alongside Baltica, they discover it as well here. However, they realize a lot of this land is kind of useless, so they kind of just expand like this. Sweden, which these countries are not really too powerful. However, this northern Norway country expands a lot as well, because they are pretty strong, but they don't really have a lot of land. But now they are much stronger as well here, as they have basically taken a lot more land here. The Scottish country will continue to explore more of Greenland as well here, giving Greenland more exploration as well here. They realize a lot of Greenland is kind of just useless as well here. However, they do set up a tiny little colony at the very edge here, making the first official North American colony as well here. Egypt will continue to explore into the Sahara Desert, but they don't really find anything as well here. However, a new country is created over here. Which is basically a bunch of people of the Egyptian religion. They want to split off and form their own country here. So they create a new country, which is Ethiopia as well here. This is a new country, And they basically decide to connect the borders with Egypt as well here. And this is basically Ethiopia as well here. We'll also be updating the major cities map as well here. As Ethiopia gets a major city in its capital region as well here. Also, there'll be several major cities. Worlds Begin will be updating the major cities, give a few major cities here, 2 major cities in Finland, as well another major city here. Russia's gonna get a few more major cities over here. Kazakhstan will create a few major cities here, a few major cities here, and a bunch of major cities in this desert area here. Orange India and Brown India will both create a major city. There'll be a major city down here. Egypt will create 2 major cities here and 2 major cities here to kind of expand their influence. Brown India has 2 major cities in their colonies here. There's a major city here, a major city at the tip of Madagascar. And this Indonesia country will create several major cities off the coastal areas here for trading purposes. And a major city, well, Jakarta, I think, is the Taiwanese country will create a major city here. And also, there'll be a major city in the far north of Japan and Hokkaido as well here. So yeah, there you go. More major cities have been added to the map as well here. Also, a major city at the tip of Iceland is created as well here. Now we updating the province map mode as well here. Yeah. So there'll be several major provinces being created as well here. Here. Most of these newer provinces are much more bigger as well here. Here, there'll also be some small provinces here because they did not anticipate this Kazakh country to exist as well here. So they will have these provinces over here. They're not gonna be perfect, but yeah, this country here. Also, Persia will be creating a bunch of new provinces. So these provinces are not very populated. Also, I forgot to we could put all these major cities in separate provinces as well here. Kazakhstan has a few provinces, but they're mostly ginormous. Yeah, Russia creates several more provinces as well here. Also creates one up here. Divides this area, these provinces even more. Divides another province as well here. And divides this province into 2 as well to further, yeah. Egypt creates a few more provinces as well here in the desert here. Yo. Also, Orange India allows the blue. Also, we got to give the blue India country this rebellion India. We're gonna create the provinces of it first as well here, then get rid of the major cities. Yeah, I forgot there was a rebellion here. Basically, this country gets these 2. There's a new Indian country up here. Yeah, and yeah, there's a new India country here. We're also gonna give it an ideology. With this country is an absolute monarchy. So yeah, this country right here is an absolute monarchy. Yeah, just like the Orange India is. They just wanted to have their own independent country. So also going to give it a capital city as well here. And their capital city will be right here, as that city is more populated, so they picked that. as well. And the final province update is in China, where they add a few more provinces to the Chinese countries as well here. Yeah. And yeah, also Korea, they divide Japan a bit more into provinces as well here. Giving, Japan more provinces. They also give this country and they also and also the Philippines is split into 4 provinces as well here. 2 on the north, this northern island, 1 over here, and 1 Saint Island province here. Indonesia creates 3 provinces as well here. However, they're not really the most perfect provinces, as Indonesia is a very new country. And so we're calling this country Indonesia now. But we're done adding new provinces in major cities, as Indonesia is going to now continue to explore over here. So Indonesia will continue to explore this land here, and they will discover even more islands as well here. So Indonesia basically says, hey, we get to have all these islands to ourselves. So Indonesia basically takes all of this island right here. And that might be, and now Indonesia is gonna be in the great powers of the world. Yep. Because Indonesia is now the fastest growing country in one of your, in this alternate world. So they're now the fastest growing country in terms of population. But now we have updated the power rankings, and Indonesia is now the 10th most powerful nation in the world as well, because Indonesia controls almost all trade that goes through this area. Basically, Indonesia, despite being more powerful than Indonesia at this current moment, they still have to kind of say, hey, if we want to trade with, let's just say, China and Korea, which are weaker than Indonesia, they're gonna have to go through Indonesia, because there's no way around it as well. Same thing with the Europeans, which is gonna kind of piss off the Europeans, because the Europeans, they have to now go through Egypt, where there's already a country that's not very friendly towards Europeans, and now they have to go through and they want to get to Indonesia and China. But the whole problem is Egypt, which is the number 1 country, is actually, with the exception of like the few countries that are friends with Egypt, because Egypt is basically kind of like this world's Ottoman Empire as well here. However, there'll be one more war before this episode ends. Yes, one more major war, and that is the war between Poland and this Hungarian country. So this Poland and Hungarian country, they basically have beef with each other, and the Hungarian country officially declares war. Stabs, Hungarian soldiers stabs, because it was still not on guns yet, but they stab basically here with a sword, and thousands and thousands of Hungarian troops invade the Polish border as well here, taking 2 major cities in the process in this battle. Both countries are monarchies, so it doesn't really matter. Both kings basically just declare war on each other, and the Hungarian army is actually doing very, very well. Despite Poland being in the top 10, Hungary, I think, is number 12 in terms of power. However, the Polish army's massive might begins to show here, and they clear up Hungary's massive invasion force, retaking back both of the major cities as well here, and they really thought they would be able to defeat Poland. They really did. Okay. And however, Romania declares war on Hungary, because Romania, they want to take more land. So Poland basically gets Romania to join the war as well, which causes Hungary to basically collapse. Which Hungary is like, we had good relations with Romania. Okay, we had very good relations with Romania, and now they backstab us for Poland as well. And Poland basically starts a massive invasion of Hungary itself, and Hungary basically surrenders. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So Poland out of this war will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces from the Hungarians. Meanwhile, Romania will get all of these provinces as well. Yeah. Yeah. So Hungary is kind of screwed. Yeah. They basically lost almost all of the land and almost all of the major cities as well. Okay, they get to keep 2 major cities outside of the capital as well, but Hungary is significantly reduced and weakened as well here. Which gives Poland even more power. Not as power. It's still not as powerful as Iberia, Russia, Orange, India, or Brittany, but also we gotta fix this. Yep, there we go, fixed. And this time we made no mistakes with the map. There you go. So yeah, now we have Ethiopia. Also, we have to give Ethiopia a capital. Which is the only major city in the entire country, as well. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. We had a major war of Hungary basically being destroyed. Another major war is about to happen. That is between Russia and this Belarus country. Yeah, because Russia, they want to expand basically, and they don't like this country being here because it's kind of a weird border. Yeah, this country has kind of existed for a long time, but they just don't really do anything with the land. So Russia sees this as a very easy invasion as well, because they want to become like one of the top powers in the world. So they basically make a clean sweep of this Belarus country, one of the weakest countries in the entire world, obviously, but yeah. And of course, they annexed the whole country. I just wanted to get rid of this Belarus country. It was honestly a sore eye strain. But we're going to update one last thing, because we haven't really updated the religion map for these new countries. So the Egyptian faith has a sect in Ethiopia as well here. This is kind of the Ethiopian version of the Egyptian faith as well here. Brown India continues to spread their religion down here. The Persian faith start to kick out the Indian faith out of here. This faith here, start to move into, this country's borders even more as well here. So that is the religion update for this country. The Indian faith, however, is the dominant faith here. This India faith, which might be pretty bad for Persia in the future as well. The Egyptian faith continues to move to separate this faith, in the Arabian Peninsula. The Russian faith extends this way. And the Indian faith, which is the main faith of Indonesia at this current moment, spreads basically to all of the islands as well here. Even if it gets eradicated from India, it will still kind of survive in Indonesia as well. But yeah, the Indian faith is not really the Brown Indian faith is not really doing too well. The Southeast Asia religion spreads as well here. Also, the Scandinavia religion spreads in the rest of Scandinavia. Yeah. And of course, we have this faith right here, moving upward. Here, the Scottish faith as well here. Also, the red religion become the dominant religion. Here, removing the last remnants of the Roman religion as well. So, yeah, this is what it looks like borders-wise as well here. And yeah. The Persian religion is starting to spread to take from the Indian religion, but not really doing the best as well here. As the Indian religion, however, a new religion is going to pop up. Yes, a new religion. This is a new religion popping up out of Central Asia, and it's just this tiny little corner faith here that is very unknown. But yeah, there's a new religion over here. It doesn't really have any. It has very few people. It's gonna kind of be like the Mormon faith. It's gonna be mostly concentrated around here. But there we go about this next update in the series. And goodbye.